or like if they don't find out, then, well, wait.
If we're legit, then we won't get chased off of this land, or you know. But
yeah,
like,
if the city finds out without us having permits, then they'll make us tear it down. But if the doomsday happens and there's permits that we exist, then people can find us.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of a small hook.
Yeah, there's interesting discussion about this, like, doomsday prepping. And, like, one of the things I like about that it's in this comic book is, like, I don't know what kind of doomsday they're prepping for, or, like, how realistic it is.
Yeah, how realistic the threat is.
Yeah, because it's in a comic book, like, it could be oh, everybody's doing this, or they're like crazy nut jobs. It seems like it's kind of more on the side of their fringe type conservative characters.
That's the way I read it. And then here's a little hook that I know is a hook, but the two young boys want to borrow a radio from an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And they ask him if they could borrow this radio under the guise of our radio is broken.
Mm-hmm.
And he's nice enough to lend them this radio. And, it's a little bit of a build up.
Yeah, it does seem like it's, and then like when the boys are talking, there's like a panel that like zooms in on the radio, and you know that there's significance, but you don't know what it is yet.
Right.
Like you're right. They did lay that hook and they didn't really explain very much around it other than you know that it's important.
Uh-huh.
So I guess there are main characters. I'm not sure who the main character is.
Right.
Who would you say? There's like a girl and her dad.
So I think Victoria is going to be a main character because she has.
But she's not like the number one main character.
No, I think the number one main character at this point is going to be this character, Lucas, who actually has taken this radio and then, and Victoria, I like Victoria because she has doubts. Like she has a kind of a back and forth with her dad. Like, you know, if we're going to be eating green beans for eternity, I would rather just canned green beans. I would rather just, die now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's fine. 'Cause there's definitely characters who are very gung ho about the idea. And you can tell that some of them are maybe more militaristic.
Yeah.
Like they're like when we get the main problem that we come across is that there's like a shot that's heard and one of the people is shot. I don't forget who it was who was shot.
Well, actually, there's another little small bit here where two kids are talking about they're laptoping and talking about the earthquakes and the frequency of these earthquakes.
Oh yeah, they're looking for some kind of doomsday that's going to happen, and they're freaking out because they think one's around the corner.
And then meanwhile, Victoria and Haley, two best friends, go for a walk in the woods, what they're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and they're gonna drink out of a flask.
Yeah, so they're out in the woods somewhere, and then we hear this shot.
Victoria's the kind of main girl, and her dad's kind of a main character guy dad, and he's like a leader. He seems like a leader of some kind, and he's the person who made the recommendation about. He said, "Oh, we should get permits from the city," and then these more maybe militaristic people thought the other way.
Right. But then
they hear a gunshot,
and that means
everyone's it's ready alert. Doomsday is on. Which to me, I'm like, okay, are they overreacting or is this real?
Are they overreacting? Is this
real? Which I liked. I liked that.
I liked it too, and they're duded up. They got their guns, and they make. Then we see these young kids come running back. One of them throws up. One of them, they've shot one of our guys. Who shot one of our guys? 12, 10. We don't know how many people they're on the perimeter of the fence, and they're coming in.
A group is crashing us. For some reason, there's a group out there, and they want in. And so everyone grabs their guns, and they go off to find out. But then it cuts to the girls are in like a hideout. Apparently they heard the gunshot too, right? So then they ran to some kind of safe house.
Not the young girl, not Haley and Victoria. We don't see them anymore in this book, in this issue 1.
Oh wait, okay. It jumps to a different scene. Never mind. Who are these people?
These are the mothers and a few of the kids that have
because it's women and children go inside.
Yeah, women and children go inside, and they are hiding. And there's some back and forth. There's a little bit of dialogue there, but then we see that
was the cut that like it confused me because I'm like, oh, okay, it's cutting to something like, oh, there's something that's happening. There's this dead body, and then they cut to these other characters, and they didn't like. It took me out of it, and I had to like completely readjust, and then it just goes right back to it.
Yeah, here's something that kind of bothered me a little bit too, because there is this dead body, lots of blood. It looks like 2 shots to the chest, and these guys walk up on it, but nobody walks up to the body and investigates.
Yeah, it's this weird cut to this other scene, and then a cut to like later, but they're just like peeking out from behind some bushes. Like it doesn't really. It was a weird double jump cut.
Yeah. So there was some jankiness.
And all of a sudden, this guy gets shot.
And then this guy gets shot
like through the head.
Through the head and goes down. And
you see it was this kid, the blonde kid.
Yeah.
And it looks like he did it on accident, like he accidentally shot a good guy and thought he was a bad guy.
But that's not the case.
But that's not, well,
they make up a story. The shots came from over there.
Yeah, so then they lie. Well, but okay, so here's a weird thing. So the like leader guy, man guy goes up to the kids and he says, "What happened?" And he's like crying because the guy died. And then the kids are like, something from the woods, it just happened so. But then the blonde kid shouts, "Now." Why did they? Okay, so he shouts now, and then the man guy's like, "What are you?" And then there's a jump cut back to the ladies again.
Yeah, it might be a little editing issue.
And then it jumps to just like a million gunshots.
No. What we see here, I thought this was kind of this worked for me. What we see here is the plan. We see if you didn't know the premise already. So
then now I realize that he's saying now to call for whatever these things are, whoever's being shot.
Yeah. The kid now let's shoot.
Yeah. But I couldn't tell who the good guys or the bad guys were. Which is the point, right?
Which is the point. You know, it's the kids are
because you find out at the end, the reveal is that it's the kids of the town.
The kids of the town have taken it upon themselves. So that scene where we see the women and children in that other jump cut, that bang 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 is 3 of the mothers being shot by these kids with guns.
Yes.
So the plan is when it happens, it's going to happen here and in the woods.
Yeah, they had it all planned out.
And this kid, Lucas, this is so heartbreaking.
I guess he seems like the leader.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize the guy with the dad, the guy was his dad.
His dad. And he shoots his dad in the face.
And he says, "I'm sorry, Dad. You have to die so that we can live."
Right. We don't have enough. We've done the math. This is happening, and now we're
for whatever reason, that's what they figured out is that all the parents had to die so that they could live.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's creepy. That is a creepy concept.
It's a really cool concept now. Like I'm almost more interested in the whole story now like it totally changed what the story is, because now it's a kid's pre-survivalist apocalypse camp.
Right. So now all the adults are...
Like, it was interesting enough just to the idea of a pre-apocalypse camp. And now it's all run by kids. Like, that's way cooler. The only thing that I'm not excited about is I don't like this. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to be tricked, and I just fell for the trick too much.
What do you mean?
Well, in that, like, the cuts from... I know it's not like a major thing, but like I was too confused about who the people were and what was going on. Like I felt like I was catching up backwards. Like I kept realizing that I hadn't realized the thing from the page before.
Oh, okay.
But eventually I ended up knowing it all. Like it was like on page 4 I realized what I didn't know on page 3. I guess that could be a good thing, but for some reason I didn't like it.
No, I'm with you. I kind of like the way they reveal it, in these.
I should like it. I don't know why I don't.
I like the way that they reveal it with these tones as well, and the art really does a very good job here, because when Lucas says now, we see a young kid there who has really got doubts about this plan, and the anguish on his face speaks volume, and then the confusion in Dad's face, is great.
Yeah.
As he comes to the realization.
The only thing was like, maybe the characters weren't established enough for me to know who was who. Like, I didn't know that was his dad until he said the word dad.
Well, I don't think
you?
No, I didn't, but I didn't think it really, I think it adds gravitas to.
Well, I feel like I should have known when they were like having the conversation before that.
What conversation that they have? Like
when his dad comes up to him and asks him what's going on, like what the story was, and his friend was telling the story.
Right. And then
if I had known that was his dad instead of, well, I don't know, I thought that was important. Like I thought they were in trouble, but if it was his dad, then I don't know.
I just think it's just like it's almost like one of those It's a scary cult thing, like
yeah.
When the comet passes, we're all gonna shoot our parents or something, it's awful.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a cool concept. I wouldn't want to do it.
Where do your predictions for? Well, let's talk about the art, and then we'll talk about where the predictions, where you think the predictions of where this story can go.
Okay. Well, I think it could. I almost want to do. Okay. Well, I thought the art was like the cover. We didn't talk about the cover, but I really like this cover.
Oh, the stark red ground.
He's standing in just like a pool of blood with like a little blood on him. Because it doesn't really look like a pool of blood until you see it, like he's wading in it.
Oh yeah. It's, I didn't even get the pool of blood. I just thought it was just like,
it just looks like red, but when you see it,
it kind of pools up. There's droplets like dropping down from wherever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pool.
Yeah.
That is a great cover. That's a really cool cover.
And just the angle that you're looking at him. I don't know, he looks like a punk.
Yeah. You don't like
He doesn't really look like he doesn't look nice. He doesn't look like, I don't know.
Yeah, he looks like he.
I don't know what art would I compare it to. It's got a lot of detail. It's a little sketchy. It's not super sketchy. Pretty realistic, but not like photorealistic.
And he looks like a teenage kid that you wouldn't.
It's not heavy on shading. The colorist did a good job.
Yeah, because it's cold out. He's got a heavy jacket on, and he's got a red nose, and he's
on the face, the amount of like redness or like in the cheeks or I I just noticed it right there. Yeah, the colorist did a good job of making rosy noses and cheeks.
Yeah, and you see that throughout, because I guess we failed to mention that this is during the winter that this happens.
Yeah, it's cold out.
It's cold out, and you see that.